Aquarius. I hope that you're all doing well. The energy that we're starting off with for the reading is connected a lot with Pentacles, and this can be indicating that there can be a big focus on material stuff for you right now. You can be maybe like working really hard, maybe even overdoing something. You may be coming to that conclusion even. I'm looking at 10 of Pentacles. We also have the Devil. With that type of thing, it can be something that we're feeling tied to, can be the feeling, but there can also be a desire not to give this up at the same time. But it can also limit you in certain ways. I think the Devil can be, it can have us working really, really, really hard, scaling a very high mountain and continuing to put work in. When the Devil comes out in this type of position, there can be a questioning about what's really motivating you and if you're accomplishing actually what you think you're accomplishing, because we have reasons for doing what we're doing, and if the hope is to accomplish something particular, you can maybe be checking in and asking yourself like if that's really working. Because I'm also seeing a 10 of Cups here. So there can be this question that you're asking yourself about if this is like really the path to happiness for you. I'm seeing you definitely be willing to do all of the footwork necessary. But yeah, there can be this bigger question of like, am I making sacrifices right now that I'm going to be really happy that I'm doing this? Or do I think that I'm going to be happy doing this? And then I'm going to look back and be like, it wasn't worth it to me. So this can be a big question that's coming up at this point. And also when we have 10 of Pentacles and we have the Devil, we can have this idea that like if we just do more, if we just do enough, or if we just accomplish this particular thing, then we'll be happy with it. But it can kind of be to no avail when we have the Devil there, because it can be like this bottomless pit that we're connected with, because we are connecting with the material. There's a lack of like spiritual and emotional awareness underneath it. It can be something that we're just barely grazing. And then we can look back and be like, I really thought that this was gonna like work and that this was gonna be worth it to me and I was gonna be happy, but still I kind of feel like something's missing here. So that can be a question. When we have the energy of Capricorn coming out, it can sometimes just be that you can be like overdoing it a little bit, or like working really hard, or like really obsessed or consumed with accomplishing something right now. And I don't think that it's a guarantee that this isn't going to be something that you feel happy with. Like for some of you guys, this can be something that pans out in a way where it's affording you the opportunity to be able to connect with what you want to connect with. For others of you, it can be a time when you look more deeply into what is inspiring this, what is inspiring you to do this. And that can be giving you maybe some answers and some clarity having to do with what you've currently been up to. Okay, I'm seeing 3 of Cups. I'm seeing 3 of Wands, Magician, Page of Pentacles. Okay. Having 10 of Cups above Page of Pentacles, this can be a feeling of contentment with what you're doing. I wonder though if you feel like you're working underneath something. So yeah, maybe there's like somebody or something that you're answering to, or you can be like working underneath like a corporation or something like that. Like maybe even you're doing some type of bidding with the Devil and the Page of Pentacles. There can also just be a focus on Capricorn, There can be a focus on the Capricorn in your chart, or you can be dealing with somebody that has Capricorn placements. I think that with the energy of Capricorn, our goals can be coming up, and what we really want to build within our lives can be coming up, and questions having to do with legacy and what our life is about can be things that come up, and also like power plays and authority can be something that comes up, and what drives us and what motivates us and what we're actually going to feel satisfied with versus what we think is going to make us happy, and then we don't really feel like that. I get like some type of maybe help or support that you can be getting right now, but you know, this is an energy that I saw actually yesterday. I did a reading for, I think it was in the Aries reading, and I saw the devil be connected with the magician, and this can be putting in a super tremendous amount of intent energy and focus into something that you have going on, but having the devil be there, also having that be connected with Three of Cups, maybe there's something about an environment that Three of Cups and the devil is feeling like an environment, a community, a network that may be functioning, but it's kind of dysfunctional. Can be something that doesn't feel maybe like a healthy environment to be in or to be a part of or to be associated with. But it can also be maybe like helping you. Interesting. Maybe it's an environment, you know what it is, like you're not blind to that. At the same time, being part of this can be helping you maybe do something important right now. So even though you can look at this and be like, I'm aware of what it is, I'm not hiding from that, or I'm not denying that, you know, like maybe there's some type of issue with being involved in it, or it can just be like, there's an issue with this system, you know, or this organization or this company. There can be something like that where there's like an awareness of it, but it can be levying you in some way. Like this can be helping you to do something meaningful and important. So maybe you're right now, you're connected with something where you're like, I don't want to be part of this forever. And I understand that I have to have like particular boundaries being involved in this, but at the same time, by me staying connected with this, it's helping me achieve something that feels important to me. Because we're seeing magician and we're seeing this be connected with 10 of Cups. So maybe this is allowing you to, I don't know, like pursue something important to you right now is what it seems like. But you can be aware that this is, it's kind of like a bargain that you're a part of if you're going to be involved in this situation. Maybe it's also something that kind of like lacks at times a deeper essence to it. There can be something that you see as being more superficial about this, and you can recognize that at the same time. You can be like, well, this is just temporary and I'm okay with that because it's helping me with something that I'm trying to do right now. So it can be something like that. Like you can be putting up with something that you see as possibly being dysfunctional or problematic because it again, it's like a bargain. I'm connecting with this because it's helping me do this thing over here. So by me being associated with this, it's allowing me to do something that I really want to be doing here. But I'm also aware of what's going on in the environment. And there's like, I think that there's some issue with it, but not enough to push you away entirely from this, because it feels like it's helping you connect with something that I'd say is actually like really legitimate. You know, like it can be like working for a company and maybe you don't agree with certain things that are going on there, or maybe there are certain issues where you're like, I don't think that this is maybe the best situation, but at the same time, it is affording me certain things that feel meaningful to me, and so this is what I'm doing right now. You know, it can be kind of a means to an end is the way that this is feeling like by you being a part of this, but there can be maybe like a toxic community dynamic that's connected with this, just like something going on that you can see as maybe being a little bit treacherous here. But overall, it kind of just seems like being part of this because it's allowing you to do something, and that can feel like maybe a good deal for you right now. I wonder if there's going to be an upcoming question about this, though. Like, is that really true? Let's clarify. Having Devil and having Three of Wands feels like this fixation with like getting ahead or securing something. Even if you know like things are out of place in order to do this. But I keep getting this feeling like this may be a kind of a temporary situation or setup for you. And if it's not anything that you see as being like morally an issue, it can just be a situation that asks you to be like doing something very extreme. And you can look at that. But I also get something about the environment too. It's like about the environment, or it's about the politics of you being connected with this, that you can feel like there's something going on with like the hierarchy and how things are being done. And you can look at that and maybe not agree with that. Because the Devil can also, I'm seeing the Devil kind of remind me of like a Hierophant type of energy, but more like Hierophant reverse type of energy, where there can be some type of, like, if you're going to be a part of this, you have to conform in some way. You may feel restricted or limited by that, but it can also be feeling like it's worth the bargain that would be involved in that because of what's coming along with this. And if it's not something like that, it can just maybe ask you to do things that you wouldn't naturally do, or things that you feel aren't naturally maybe in flow. Because I think Devil can indicate like not really being in a flow state with something, being out of balance in some way. So maybe there's a type of participation that's asked of you in order to be connected with this and get the benefits from being connected with it, is that you have to be like out of whack in some way, or like off rhythm or off base in some way to be connected with this. But it can also be like the environment. Like it can be something that feels like maybe everybody at that particular job, let's say, for example, can be like a workaholic and be very extreme, and can be like so dedicated and so focused that it's like very much neglecting other areas of their life. So there can be like something about the community that's involved in that you can look at and you can recognize as not being like holistic. There's like a lack of something being holistic here, but because this looks like it's a temporary thing, you can be like, for now, I'm okay doing that, because, you know, maybe there's something going on right now where there are only certain areas of your life that you want to be focused on, and maybe you feel like it's okay to neglect other areas of your life right now, especially if this is going to be something that you're doing temporarily. So yeah, it can be somewhere that, again, like means to an end, or this is like a stepping stone of some sort where you're like, I'm not trying to be in this forever. I don't think it would be good for me to be involved in this forever. The light just went off. Check what time it was when the light went off. If you look up the angel numbers associated with that, it can tell you. There can be like an added layer to the message here with this. I'd say though that for whatever this is that you're involved in, even though it can be something that it's just going to be a temporary situation, I feel like everybody is working very hard. So it does seem like the system does function, but yeah, but there can be an issue with the system. Like there's something wrong with it, but it does function. And it can be, you can look at something and feel like it's wrong according to what would feel like a natural rhythm or flow for you specifically. You know, this doesn't necessarily mean that inherently there's some issue, but you can look at that and feel like, I don't completely resonate with this, or I don't like 100% vibe with that, but there is like something important that's doing right now. So maybe this is also, I'm almost getting the feeling of like you can be a part of this environment, but maybe also not totally identified with like being a participant within this. It's kind of like you're there, but it almost feels like you're a temp within the agency of whatever this is. So yeah, you can, maybe that's also something that's being experienced by you being in this cycle. It can be teaching you how to stand in some extreme experience, like maybe some extreme polarity or something like that. I see it being helpful. So even though this is something that you look at this, it's temporary, it's not something that you're completely identified with, it is very helpful to you right now. And again, coming back to this thing of, it may limit certain things within your life, like it may put a cap on certain things, but this doesn't feel like it's going to be a forever type of thing. It feels like it's just a means to accomplishing something. It's just a stepping stone, and then you're most likely going to separate yourself from this. But yeah, it can be helping you accomplish something, to stabilize something important, to reach a goal that you really want to reach, something like that. But this can be a type of situation where you're like, I can't work like this forever, or I can't be involved in this forever, or like this is not going to be a long lasting thing. You know, you can look at this and be like, I'll do it for 6 months and then no. You know, it can just be something like that, is the way that this is seeming like to me. Just like a temporary thing. And maybe you also look at that and you're like, if I were to commit to staying in this for a long time, then it would actually be an issue. But because of only being involved in this temporarily, it seems like it doesn't take things out of whack too much. Like you're not too affected by it, that it's like okay to be like on this for a little bit. And yeah, it can, for some of you guys, this can be something like schooling or like training for something where it can be super, super intense and you can't really like tend to other things within your life, but it can be for like a short period of time where it's like you learn a whole lot, it's very extreme, but then you accomplish what you need to accomplish. And then you can throw in some more regularity after that, but it's worth it to do that, you know, because I'm definitely seeing this as benefiting you in some way, but it can even be like, you know, also too, how you can go to school for something and it can be like an accelerated course. It can be something like that even, where you know that it's going to be accelerated, you know it's going to take up like 23 out of the 24 hours every day, but that you're going to be able to accomplish something, and then you're going to be free of this, and then you'll be able to kind of like move forward with things. And that it is like beneficial. I see it being like a worthwhile situation to be involved with, as long as it's just a temporary thing. And yeah, it can even be something where you don't want to get into the like group think that's associated with this either, where you can kind of like keep your energy a little bit separate but maneuver within whatever this is, where you can function within it but not be identified with that. So you keep that separation while gaining all the benefit that you can by being connected with this. All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.